right? You know, Trump was, in many respects, in 2016, the candidate of white grievance, right? And he's been the president of white grievance. And now he's just the president. He's just the candidate and president of his own grievances. That's all it is, right? And I can say that's one thing that's true in every election I've ever covered, in every election that anybody on the show right now has ever worked on. One of the truisms is such a truism, it's a cliche, is that, you know, the candidates that are successful are the ones who make the campaigns about the voters and about the voters and about the future, not about themselves and about the past. And Trump has made this entire campaign about himself and about some imagined glory days where he wants to relive 2016 over and over again. He wants to relive, even in the way he talks about the economy constantly, Joe, this notion of, if it hadn't been for the pandemic, I had brought the greatest economy of all time. Never mind that a lot of his claims were exaggerated and untrue. Even throughout the pandemic, he spent a lot of that time kind of mourning the political consequences for him that, you know, the economy was so great, I did all these great things, and now it was taken away from me, right? It's the last thing in the world that hard-pressed ordinary voters want to hear is a self-obsessed, narcissistic president when things are bad. When things are good, voters don't really care what the president talks about. But in a moment of crisis, in a moment of duress, in a moment of economic strain, of social strain, of public health strain, the voters are rightly concerned about themselves, their families, and their immediate future and their long-term future. And to see the president engaged in this perpetual navel-gazing, narcissistic, self-congratulatory, and nostalgic kind of circling of the drain in this last month, it just, you know, again, Pluff said it before, you know, there are black swan events in politics, things happen. But boy, I mean, if Donald Trump can win this way, I think we have to burn all the rule books for how candidates are supposed to operate, because the basic precepts of how a candidate's supposed to be, he's just discarding them and disregarding them. And I just don't see how this is a winning formula. And if it is, I just don't understand how this works anymore.
And he has a strange habit of attacking Americans who are exponentially more popular than him. LeBron James, Lady Gaga, John Bon Jovi,
yes,
Dr. Fauci, President Obama. You can go on and on and on down.